we got to get more people taking care of themselves inside and outside. And there's, I do a fair bit of fat shaming on my Twitter feed, partially because I know, but we do it because we care, right? It's not about ridiculing or mocking people. It's about helping people get motivated to go. And at the same time as I will fat shame, generally speaking, not individuals, when an individual on my social media demonstrates that they're willing to do the work, I will promote them so that we can channel positive energy from out there in the universe and focus it in on that guy, have him feel the support and make positive change in his life. So like I will fat shame, but then my social media feed, I use it to gather this energy and direct it onto a person and have them, get that positive feedback that helps them make the choices and the energy to change their life for the positive. There's a guy that asked me, he's like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, well, walk 2 miles every day for 14 days and then get back to me. Well, guess what? He did that. And now he's checked in on the same Twitter thread, like 137 days in a row, lost 40 pounds. He's in the gym every day. He's starting to look great. His face is shrinking. His body's shrinking. His energy is up. There's thousands of people like supporting him. So what I want to figure out, what I would like to hear from you, from the guys that are in the audience who need a little extra motivation, in your experience in training people, helping people, what is the best way to get people to go from the couch, sedentary, eating like crap, to a place where they're happy and healthy and maybe even feel sexy at the pool? People, the getting started part is so hard. People don't know what to do. In your experience, what has been the most effective motivation or system or tool that you have to help somebody who wants to do it, or maybe who doesn't even know that they have to and doesn't even want to just yet? But how do you get somebody from the couch to the pool and that journey? How do you do that? What's your best way?
I have this statement that if you can't motivate yourself, I'm definitely not going to motivate you. Yeah. But here's something that worked one time. And I was doing hey, you know what? You win this contest, I'll train you for free for as long as you want to do it. So the guy who won is a man named Seth Conklin. Great guy, and he has a daughter. And I remember we're talking and he's like, I just don't want to die because I want to be around for my daughter. And I think it's the most dire thing you can say. And it sucks to say, but it's like, look, this will kill you prematurely and affect your quality of life. You won't be able to play catch with your child. You won't be able to go to games and be pumped up. And the other day when my daughter hit that championship winning goal with 20 seconds left in double overtime before it went to PKs, I didn't know she hit it. Okay. I thought a girl named Leah hit it because from behind, they both have brunette hair and a ponytail. And after the game, everybody's celebrating. I'm like, who the hell scored? And they're like, that was your daughter. So here's what I did. I said, guys, get my shit. I ran like Jerome Bettis in 1997. I ran out onto the field and one of the parents like, can you go out on the field? I'm like, let somebody stop me. You won't be able to do that. You could waddle your ass on the field and people will laugh because you run funny. At the end of the day, man, part of being a parent, part of living life is being able to enjoy those moments. And you can only do that if you're in shape. Fat people just have a shitty life. It's a horrible life when you live your life based on drinking gravy from KFC. If you live your life and you know that you could jump up and cheer for your favorite sports team, if you still watch that stuff, if you know that you could play catch with your kids, if you know that you could go lift with your neighbor's kid, all these awesome things. And all you have to do is dedicate about 30 minutes a day to exercising, and 30's it. Like, that's fine. 30's more than enough. And, eat less crap, eat more whole foods, portion control. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. But people are so gluttonous. And now we have the media saying that, oh no, I shared this article on Twitter. I'm like, oh no, you could be healthy and fat. Like, no, you fucking can't. No. Gravity does not give a fuck. Gravity, your joints are going to hurt. It's going to take its toll. And like I said earlier, your heart is going to strain. Okay. We have the media having fat acceptance. God forbid you and I say anything about being fat, being bad. All of a sudden we're canceled. You can't cancel someone who doesn't care. I just don't care anymore. At the end, I'm not going to sit back and watch people die because I'm afraid of losing a couple sales. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I can't sleep at night. I don't want my kids, when I die, no one's going to, man, do you remember how much money Mark had? No one gives a shit about that. It's like, hey, Mark really was ethically consistent. He was morally consistent. And he tried to help people. And while he might have been a bit brash because his personality is over the top, that dude stood for something. I don't want to go out a little bitch. And I want to make sure I save as many lives as possible and saying, oh, it's okay that you're fat. It's not. Now, if you want to live your life and die your life like that, that's on you. I'm all about freedom of personal choice. But for me to sit back and say, oh, no, that's okay. It's okay if you think it's okay. But if you want your life to, I want more for people. And if that makes me an evil fat shamer, so be it.
Evil fat shamer, Marc Lobliner here. Go to marclobliner.com, Tiger Fitness. Check it all out. It's a psychological thing. It's a motivational thing. It's a mind shift, right? Because we all know, we all know, eat less, move more, don't eat shit. You'll basically be fine.
Yeah.
But it's the psychological element. And that's why people pay for coaching. Yeah, people do pay personal trainers for like actual technical assistance on certain lifts and whatever. I learned how to snatch through an amazing Olympic lifting coach, and I would have never been able to figure out how to snatch on my own. It is the most humbling of all the movements. I have fallen over with 95 pounds. My 1 rep max is all of 225. Like it is so hard to do. You need specific technical coaching on that. But most of the time, people who get a trainer are doing it for motivation and accountability. What have been, in your experience, the ways to get people to find that motivation, that accountability? And what is it about human nature that we can't be accountable to ourselves?
I think hiring a coach is definitely one way to go about it, or belonging to a movement. Like you have, obviously you're immensely successful movement, right? Where it covers certain things. So basically, remember that old saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, go to a new room.
Yeah.
I'm always the dumbest person in the room. Like all of my business partners are better than me in at least one or two things, probably hundreds of things. And I think by surrounding yourself with proper people and hiring a coach, a lot of people just don't know where to start. Like me fumbling around with my my audio equipment here, right? It'd be easier if I had the guy from Best Buy's Geek Squad here to help me out. Sometimes getting some help. And look, man, I have a coach. Like getting ready for a show, I've gotten thousands of people ready for shows. I can't get myself ready. I need that guidance. I need that accountability. And it's like, I think Ron Coleman would appreciate this. Like, what do you call a lawyer who represents himself in court? A fucking idiot, And that's the thing. Like, you have to be able to submit yourself, humble yourself that you don't know this. And it's okay to hire somebody to help, whether it's a life coach, whether it's joining an organization like yours, whether it's going to an online community, support. Just surround yourself with, look, don't hang out with people who are negative, people who, oh, my family, every time I try to eat healthy, my family is, get away from your family. Just because they're blood doesn't mean they're good for you. Look, I've separated from my family, a lot of them. I don't spend time with people who are toxic just because, look, blood does run thicker than water, but that doesn't mean that blood can't be toxic. And a lot of people keep these negative people around. Like, oh man, I went and my mom doesn't want to be around me because I won't wear a mask and I'm not vaccinated. I'm like, fuck, who cares? Let her fucking be, just separate. Look, negativity, life's too short to be around negativity and toxicity. And if they want to make that choice, be negative and toxic towards your goals and your beliefs, then move on. There's other people out there who will support you. And I'm fortunate to have a group of people who support me, including my wife and my children, and including my business partners. So it's one of those, and including my training partner. Like, there are people out there that will help you. There are groups out there that will help you. And don't think that everybody's out for something evil or everybody's out for something just nefarious. There are a lot of good people, good folks out there. And just because someone's, oh, it's my old friend, but they say, well, if that's your goal and you're old, like, get rid of that friend. Get rid of waste. Get rid of toxicity.
Yeah, 100%. The community is so important. Who you surround yourself with is so important. The people that you compare yourself, we naturally compare ourselves to the people who are around us. And if you're surrounding yourself by people that are fit and active and strong, you're going to compare yourself to them. In the liminal order, when we do the orientation, a lot of the guys are looking for accountability. I'm like, okay, look, there is no accountability master in the liminal order. None. How do you get accountability? Well, you get accountability by, one, committing to being a man of honor, two, making a commitment in front of other men of honor, surrounding yourself with brothers who believe in honor, and then not wanting to look like a bitch. Accountability is not wanting to look like a bitch. And I've noticed that when people, we have very low turnover in the LO, but I can tell when people are on their way out because they start to disengage. And the reason why they disengage is because they're feeling shame. And the accountability isn't working as well as it could, but it's working to the point where they're like, I know I'm not doing this thing. So they start to fade off. So I preach to them, just get engaged and meet as many guys as you can and talk to as many people as possible so that you feel that positive peer pressure. Building a community, intentional communities, is a thing of 2021 that we really all need to focus on. And you're obviously doing it. I'm doing it. A lot of what social media really is all about is building that positive, if you do it the right way, positive reinforcement, a community of people that see the world the same way that you do so that you can achieve the goals that you want. And guys, if you're just listening, Marc's a bodybuilder. He's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. He knows how to do all the physical things. But what are we talking about now? We're talking about the mental thing. Because the mental thing is where it all starts. It all starts with the mental thing. If you can't come up with the right mindset, it doesn't matter what workout program you've got. You know, my son's like, Dad, should I do Squat-tober or should I do 5-3-1 or what should I do? And I'm like, well, just do the thing you're going to do every single day. And that's where he's doing Squat-tober right now.
No, it's definitely one of those situations where you just have to look at what works best for you. And you have to, again, be amongst people who will take you to that next level. And here's a quick story. So I coach high school athletes. And the first day I came in as their strength coach, they didn't have a real strength program for the last few years. And it's a newer program. And these kids, shirts on, tucked in, like just kind of like slouching, not sure of themselves. We have one team captain. Now I'll say his name's Drew. Kid's just a beast. Like he's a beast. And he's the leader. Kid came in the first day with his shirt off, squatting 225 for reps. I'm like, all right, cool. So long story short, I get a call. They had the homecoming parade. And these are kids, like the wrestling team generally isn't the football team. They don't get the notoriety. And it's generally not, and I'm not saying this by any means, it's generally not the most athletic kids, at least our team isn't. We have a couple studs, but like our team's made up of the people who didn't want to play football. They want to do something competitive. They want to better themselves. These are the best athletes to coach, right? They're the most humble, amazing athletes. And so he calls me from the float. He's like, I don't know what you've done with these kids, but they're out here waving their shirts in the air with their shirt off. Like there's something. So it instills confidence. So being around somebody, let's like say you have a team captain, like a Drew, being around somebody like that, everybody, it's called leveling up. And we say that a lot. My partner, Mike Rashid and Sean Torbani, a company I own called Ambrosia. Mike's big on leveling up. We all are. And leveling up means, again, if you're the smartest person in the room, get a new room. Be around people who force you to step up your game. Dude, the 4-minute mile was not possible. Then one dude ran it. And now there's been dozens of people who've ran a 4-minute mile because everybody leveled up. That's why world records are broken every year.